uploaded to YouTube, inshallah. Just a quick review regarding our meeting 3, which is 2 weeks ago. We covered points like become a critical thinker and a creative problem solver. And we covered chapter 6, excel at taking tests. So basically what we have is identify the steps of how to develop your critical thinking and what is meaning of critical thinking. And we said it's a process of logical, rational, systematic thought. And we always have some problem to solve, either a small problem or a big problem, like for example, which hour you have to wake up today, which task you should start with. So we also had covered the Bloom's taxonomy of critical thinking skills. And we discussed some examples regarding each level of this taxonomy. Then we said there are 4 steps to a problem solving. First, you have to define what's the problem. Then you have to interpret the problem and gather some information regarding it. And then you have to develop and implement a plan regarding what is the available situations, what is the available solutions you can adapt, and also which one best fit with your problem and how to develop the solution. By the end, when you start solving the problem, you should evaluate the plan, how it was, and what was the cons and pros of adapting your solution. So this is actually what we have covered in the last meeting. Then we had some strategies regarding what you should do if you have some exam. You have to study early, you have to write your notes, you have to ask your colleagues. So we have set some strategies before the test and during the test and then after the test. And we said your grades will be the feedback of your test strategy, of your study strategies. Also, we had covered some meanings regarding what is cheating and what's plagiarisms, and how to avoid plagiarisms, and some solutions of avoiding plagiarisms, like citing the work, like doing some paraphrasing, like quoting words for word in your work. Then also we have some penalties of plagiarisms. So it's based on the institution. Some institution mark failed for the works with plagiarism. Some deduct some marks. So this is actually what we had covered in the last meeting. Yes?
في ناس تبى تدخل.
Link, okay. Just give me a few minutes. I will send you the link here and you can share it with them. So far, we have around 63 attendees. And now we will start our 4th meeting, which is also have a lot of definitions regarding multiple things. So we will cover 5 chapters in today's meeting, meeting 4. Application software, system software, input and output, the system unit, and secondary storage. So basically in today's meeting, we will cover and distinguish between all these terms, what is application software, what is system software, Input and output, what is the system unit and in different computer types, and also what is secondary storage and what is the difference between them. So these 5 chapters, we will highlight only the important parts that required from you in your study. So in chapter 7, we will cover the application softwares. We will identify the purpose of them, why we need application software, and then we will describe some of the main application software used, like word processor, like spreadsheet, presentation, database management system, and also identify specialized application. What is the difference between it and the general purpose? And also we will describe graphics program. Okay. You don't see my presentation, meeting 4? You don't see the screen?
We see it.
Okay, very good. Because supposed to be, this is meeting 3, this is meeting 4, so I think I have to share it again with you. Just a second. All right. Not long ago, trained specialists were required to perform many operations such as market analysis, calculation of a project sales, or designing graphics. If you see this sentence here, we have a lot of specific tasks. We have to do it on computer based on our specialist. For example, you as a student, you have to do your homework, you have to write some code on specific programs. Other specialists like market analysis, they need to use to put numbers and draw some graphics to draw the trend of the flow of money. And some project managers needs to do some calculations and to see what's the difference between what the material they need and how much amount of materials and labors, for example, to perform each part of the project. So we all have some tasks to do on computer. Some of us, they use their laptops as personal computers. Some they contact the data or they interpret the required data by using their company computer. Each one of us, based on his specialist, they need some software in their computers to finish their works and perform their task. This specialist programs to perform these specific tasks called application software. So to define what is application software, it's actually programs that help you, the user, to finish your task or to perform your task. It can be described as end user software because they intended to be used by the user, not by the system, and is used to accomplish a variety of tasks, different tasks, not limited to any category. There are 3 categories of application software. We can categorize it to 3 types or 3 categories. General purpose application, which is used by any user. Specialized application, which is specific only to a group of people based on their special. Mobile application, which is run only inside our phones or smartphones. General purpose application include Word, which allow us to create documents, edit it, save it, and share it. Spreadsheet programs help us to do some calculation, organize the data, analyze it, and draw some graphic charts, like Microsoft Excel. Presentation graphics are the programs that help us to create text with animation, with pictures and animated features. So it helps us to do some visual objects it helps us to create a visual interactive presentation, make it interest to the presenter and to the people who is presented to. Example, Microsoft PowerPoint. And we have also the database management system, which is a program that helps us to organize data in a structured way, in a table, in columns and rows, and help us to extract this information from this table. This like Microsoft Access. Specialized application, it's also application software, but it's only for a specific of people. These programs include graphic programs, special graphic programs, which is used by engineers, for example. And some graphics programs, there are the desktop publishing program like Adobe InDesign, which is to create some publishers. Image editing program like Adobe Photoshop, which help you to modify the pictures, change the colors. Illustration programs, it help you to do some animated features on the pictures like Adobe Illustrator. And for example, if you want to draw some the circle of a process, for example, you can use Adobe Illustrator and show rows and labels of the steps. We have also some video editors like Windows Live Movie Maker, which help you to create creative videos, which is actually a set of frames, and each frame will stay set of seconds. Each one of these applications help the user to interact with the application through an interface. So we can define the user interface as the part of the application that help you, the user, to interact and control what is behind the application. So it helps you to add the data, to format the data, to do some animation. Most general purpose application use the mouse and the graphical user interface to interact with. So basically we will have a set of symbols here to represent the actions might be needed by the user, like the paste, the cut, like the copy format. So we will see the symbols here, and we will know the users, we will know exactly this command, what it will do to the part of data we selected. So GUI or GUI is actually the graphical user interface, which is consists of a lot of icons and elements that represent the different commands that might be needed by the user. We use usually the pointer or the mouse to set the instruction to the application program and to interact with the application. Usually we have a window, which is a rectangle area in the screen that contain the document we opened, and also the program run, which is run our document. We can also have more than one window open in the same application at the same time. This is regarding the application software. The system software is the system sit behind the computer that help us to run our application program. So without a system software, the application software will be useless. Application system software like Windows, Macintosh, Linux. So Windows, Macintosh, Unix, and Linux, and also the virtual box of different operating systems. This is called a system software. The end user use application software to finish their task, but also we use system software. We don't know what is behind or the different actions by the system software, but we actually work with the system software to finish our task. Work with end users, application program, and computer hardware to handle the majority of technical details. Like, for example, if you want to open Word, Microsoft Office Word in your computer, you go to the icon of Microsoft Word and you click there, and it will be open to you. So the operating system or the system software, he needs to define which application you need to open, and also which part of the screen you have clicked there, how you want to organize your files, where you want to store your folders. So all this task is actually done by the system software. Like, for example, which language you want to use it for your computer. System software is not only one program, but it is a collection of programs that works together to and perform hundreds of works and operations without the realization of the user. So we don't interact and interpret the system operations while it's work. System softwares type, there are many types or 4 types of programs as system softwares. We can categorize them to operating system, which is the main operating system, the main program of your system softwares. Without it, your computer will be only device without any interactive, only black screen. So you need some operating system to help you running the application softwares and interact with them. So the operating system work as coordinator for the computer resources, provide you an interface between, provide the user with an interface to interact with the computer and also to run the different applications. The other types of system software is the utilities. Utilities is a supporting programs for the system software, which is the operating system. Like, for example, the antivirus, like the security, managing security, like the calculators. So perform specific tasks related to managing computer resources. Then we have also another part of system software, device drivers. Device drivers are types of programs that help you to run a specific device if you connect it to your computer, like if you want to connect your phones, for example, or a new printer, or a mouse, or a keyboard, or any other devices like projectors. So device drivers allow particular input or output devices to communicate with the rest of the computer system. Then we have also the language translators, which is purpose is to convert the programming instructions written by programmers into a language that computers understand and process. So it's an interpreter for the programming language to the machine language. The main types of the system software is the operating system. It is not only one program, but it's a collection of programs handle technical tasks related to using a computer, like organizing the files, managing the folders, changing the shape or the appearance of your desktop. It is the most important software inside your computer. Without an operating system in your computer will be only a device, it would be useless. Examples of operating system is Windows 10 and Macintosh, Linux, and Unix. How the file organize the how the operating system store your files and organize it. We actually have our data inside files, our pictures stored in files, our sounds stored in files, documents, spreadsheet, images, all these videos, all these are different types of files. We have these files stored inside folders, which is a place to store many files. So files are used to store data and programs. Folders are used to store related files. You need applications to open different types of files, and you need some operating system to open the folders. Also, a folder can contain more than one folder, or it can have subfolders. We have a lot of cases where we can find the operating system. We could have the operating system embedded directly inside the device, like, for example, in the smartwatch. It's called Real-Time Operating System, or RTOS. Because the operating system will be stored entirely or embedded inside the device. For example, in the smartwatch, they can control it, they can connect it with our phones, and it can have video game system and thousands of other small electronic devices. The other types of operating system is a standalone operating system, or we can call it desktop operating system. It helps us to control a computer, a PC, or a laptop. Usually, we have the operating system installed in different laptops or on PCs. So the operating system will be installed in the computer's hard disk, like Windows 10 or Macintosh operating system. Sometimes we could have the operating system as a network, so network operating system or an OS. Usually, we will have this operating system inside a network, installed in a network, and we have the computer or PCs connected directly to this operating system on the network. So NOS are used to control and coordinate computers that are networked or linked together. So we could have more than one screen, more than one keyboard, but they all have the same operating system, which is basically as a server, working as on a server, like Linux or Windows servers and Unix. Chapter 9, we will speak about input and output. Different input and output devices are available to be connected with the computer. So we could define input devices as any device help us, the users, to enter data inside the computer. So input is any data or instruction used by a computer. Input device is hardware used to translate words, numbers, sound, image, and gestures that people understand into a form that the unit can process. So we could define any data that I want to enter it inside the computer as input. Any device that helps me to enter this data inside the computer is called input devices. Most of the devices we use it as input is the keyboard for entering words and numbers, different symbols. We have also pointing devices, which is mouse, help us to click and interact with different graphics element on the screen. We have also scanning device. A scanning device help us to transmit normal paper to a digital copy in the computer. We have also image capturing devices like the digital cameras and webcam. We have also audio input devices, which is microphone to interpret our sound to a digital file, digital sound in the computer. This is an example. So we have the keyboard, the scanner, the camera, and the mouse. On the other hand, we have the output, which is translating the data from the computer, from a digital format to a format that a human can understand. So output is processed data or information, and it takes the form of text, graphics, photos, audios, and video. Any device that helps us to output this data from the computer is called output device. So the process of using output device is to translate information that has been processed by the system unit into a form that humans can understand. The most output device are actually the screens or monitors. We have also the printers. We have also the audio output devices like the speakers. There are many types of monitors that can be connected to the computer as output device. We have the flat panel monitors. We have the curved monitor. We have the e-book reader. We have the digital or interactive whiteboard. We have the ultra high definition television, and we have the digital projector. This is an image of different screen of monitors. So flat panel monitor is a flat screen. The curved monitor is a curved screen. E-book reader have a limited on the size, and also it can be held by the hand, and it can work as input and output device because we will interact immediately through the screen. Digital whiteboard is a big, also interactive screen that we can point to somewhere on it and help us to illustrate some data in a class, for example. We also have 3D UHD, which is a high definition screen. We have the projector also. The second important output device is the printer, and we have three types of a printer. We have the inkjet printers, which used ink to print the paper. We have the laser printer, which has also to use the laser ink. So faster than the ink printer, but the quality of the ink printer is more interactive if you use ink jet printer than the laser printer. But even though now with the development of technologies, we have high quality laser printers. We also have 3D printers, which help us to construct the 3D shapes, and it's called 3D printers. For the audio, we have the speakers and the headphones. In chapter 10, we will discuss the system unit, where it can be located on PC or laptops. So we will see the differentiate between the 5 basic types of system unit and the main component of a system unit. The system unit or system chassis is a container that houses most of the electronic components that make up a computer system. So if you want to see it on a PC, it is the big box of your PC. If you want to see it in your laptop, it is behind the keyboard. There are 5 types of personal computers, which is it's personal computers because it is used at the most time, like the desktop, like the laptop, like tablets, smartphones, wearable computers. Each one of these devices or personal computers have a unique type of system unit. This is the most common one, which is desktop computer. It is the most powerful type of personal computers. Most desktop have their system unit in a separate case, and we have the other parts of the computer installed inside it, like the hard disk, like the memory, like the motherboard, like the drive reader, CD drive reader, or the DVD reader. So it's only a case, a separate case, and we can enhance the performance of this type of computers as we could replace the parts that we need to improve it. Also, the input and output devices, they will be connected with this case through boards located outside the system unit. Like we can connect the screen, the keyboard, the mouse with the boards outside this system unit. This type is designed to be placed either horizontally or vertically on a table. Desktop system unit that are placed vertically, we call it tower unit or tower computer because it stand up vertically. Some desktop computers like Apple's iMac have their monitor and system unit housed together, like this one here. So we have the screen and also we have the system unit together in the same case. This type of computer called all-in-one, and we have a lot of computers now, they do the same, so they call it all-in. System unit in laptops is actually behind the keyboard here. It's on the back side. Laptops, it is a powerful personal computers, but not like the desktops. So if you want to have high features of your computer, you can change the features of your personal computers, the PC computers, whereas in a laptop, basically, usually it is stay the same as you bought it. Laptops, the advantage of it is portable and smaller than the desktop, so it's easy to be carried with the person. Their system units are housed with selected secondary storage device and input devices like keyboard, pointing device, all embedded inside the laptop. There are several of specialized laptops. So there are two-in-one laptop, which is worked as tablet and laptop. There is the gaming laptop, and there is the Ultrabook, which is the mini notebook. So the table or tablet computers is the newest and one of the most popular types of computer because it's thin, light. It can be carried inside the pocket. The system unit will be behind the monitor. The advantage of it is it is a smaller, lighter, and but on the other hand, it is less powerful than the laptop. Tablets do not have standard keyboards. Usually, we will have it on the screen, and we will have touch-sensitive screen to interact as input device and output device at the same time. Many tablets are types of tablets with a smaller screen. They do not have all the functionality of the bigger tablet, but they are easier to transport in pocket and purse. Smartphones now become the most popular mobile device because you can make a phone call, you can use it to check your email, to open some files like Word, PowerPoint, or PDF file. It has the power of computing and the power of mobile phones. It can send audio and video. It can run up some application. It can be connected to the internet. It's located behind the display screen. In wearable computers like smartwatch, is also embedded in a chip inside the smartwatch or in the wearable computers. And this is also the first evolution steps to the Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is the different devices that have the ability to connect to the internet, like smartwatch. This device contains embedded computer on a chip that is typically much smaller and less powerful than smartphones. The most common wearable computers are smartwatch and activity trackers. Components inside the system unit. It has a lot of other connected devices in different size and shapes and capabilities. Most of these personal computers have in common a system board or a motherboard, a microprocessor which help the device to run. It has some memory to store the information and do the process on it. Let us have a break for, we only have 8 slides left. So let us have a break of 5 minutes and come back. Now it's 2:41, so come back here within 5 minutes and come back. Thank you very much. Welcome back. We will yes. Okay, so we will continue. The part still we have to cover it today is the secondary storage. We will distinguish between primary and secondary storage and why we should have some secondary storage. What's the different types available? We will compare between them regard the capacity and the connectivity and also the access speed. So secondary storage is actually a memory or a place to store our files that is required to keep it for a long time or for the short time. So we are actually calling it the memory. Memory is a space to hold the data. Also, it's a place to hold the instructions and the information. We have two different types of memory. We have RAM memory and ROM memory. Random access memory and read-only memory. RAM. RAM is used in the computers to hold data, the files, the programs, the instructions that's been processed by the CPU. So before processing any data, it should be placed in the RAM so that it can be processed. Then it's stored in the other memory or the permanent memory. So for this reason, we called RAM as primary memory. RAM is very or volatile. This means if we didn't save the data in which is a RAM, it will be there is someone have his microphone on. Check your microphone. We have the kids with us. Yeah, Salihah, your microphone is on. All right. So RAM loses all of its content as soon as the computer is turned off. Any data there, you have to store it before you turn off your computer. For these reasons, we need some other memory which holds the data permanently, which is the secondary storage, which have the data for a permanent until we delete it from there. And this part of memory is called non-volatile. So even if we shut down the computer or the electricity has interrupted, disconnected, we will still have the information there. So some of the secondary storage is the hard disk or solid state storage or optical disk. Hard disk has the highest capacity and it uses the magnetic charge of the disk service to store the files and folders there. We have two types of hard disk. We have the internal one, which is installed inside the computer system, or we have the external hard disk, which is portable and can be moved with us, and we can connect it to any computer. So the internal hard disk locate inside the system, store and retrieve large quantities of information quickly, have a fixed amount of storage. Both of them have a fixed amount of storage, the internal and the external one. The external hard disk located outside the system, typically connected to a USB port on the system unit, provides slower access than internal hard disk, have a fixed amount of storage, and it can be removed. Unlike hard disk, which rotate and have read and write head, so we have the ability to read, to store data and delete it from there. We have the solid state storage device, which is there is no moving parts inside it. It stores the data electronically, so the data there will be stored as electronic signals. For example, the solid state drive, the SSD memory, or the flash memory, or the flash USB drives, the flash drives. This is an example. This is the solid state, which is a memory you can connect it to your phones or to your computer. Flash memory cards, and also the USB drives. Secondary storage, the optical disc. Also, we have 3 different types. We have the DVD, we have the CD, and also we have the Blu-ray. Both have the same shapes. The difference between them is the size, and also the speed of reading and writing on them. So the CD has the smallest size among them, which is around 700 megabyte. The DVD is bigger than the CD, but less than the Blu-ray disc. The DVD can store 4.7 gigabyte data. Like, for example, one movie, the Blu-ray disc, it can have the size of 50 gigabytes, which is very huge. It can store an archive of information. We have finished meeting for today. Thank you very much for attending. Anyone have a question? You are welcome to ask.
أنا بس إنه غير عن المحاضرة، إنه الاختبار أنا حل كل الأسئلة صح ورسلت لك إيميل وما تعدت الدرجة.
رسلت لي إيميل متى رسلت الإيميل؟ أنا يعني آخر قبل 4 أيام ما رديت على إيميلات.
رسلت الإيميل بعد الكويز على طول. رسلت الإيميل
What's your name؟
فيصل بن دريب. ورسلت الإيميل
فيصل إيش؟
فيصل بن دريب.
طب اعطيني ايميلك، خليني بشيك على ايميلك بشوف رديت ولا لا.
دقيقة.
رقمك الجامعي.
تبين بس الرقم الجامعي؟
إيه؟
دقيقة.
انت رسلت الايميل من ايميلك صح؟ من ايميلك
لا.
الجامعي.
ايوه من ايميل الجامعي. 204
204
15
15
972.
972. ما وصلني ايميل منك.
غريبة، مع اني راسل والله.
هذا انا الحين قاعدة في الايميل ادور بايميلك ما لقيت. اعطيني السبيلنج حق اسمك. FAISAL فيصل.
ايوه.
واخر رقمين من رقمك الجامعي؟
972.
972. يا فيصل 972 ما اشوفك والله. ما هو عندي، ما وصلني.
غريبة مع انه راسل والله، بعد الكويز على طول رسلت لك.
ما جاني والله. ده انا الان في الايميل ما جاني شيء. دورت برقمك الجامعي وباسمك ما عندي، ما وصل. يمكن راح على الدرافت، ويمكن راح على الجنك ايميل وما شفته هناك. يعني هذا الاحتمال الوحيد يعني. فارجع ارسله، ما في غير انك ترجع ترسل.
طيب عاد ترسل ايميلك هنا في الشات عشان اكتبه زين، يمكن غلطان فيه.
شوف هنا مجموعة من الايميلات في الجنك ايميل، وانا بالعادة يعني ما اشيك. فاذا ما رديت عليكم فمعناها وصار لكم يعني فترة، فمعناها انه ما شفت الايميل.
يعني اعيد ارسلها مرة ثانية
ان شاء الله.
دكتورة can I leave?
Yes. If you have no question, you can leave.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for attending. You can leave. Thank you very much. Any more question?
اي دكتور، انا عندي سؤال.
ايوه.
انا ما قدرت اسوي الواجب لاني صراحة ما عرفت كيف ادخل ال MTA حق الواجب. ففي ايش ممكن
هم
اقدر اسوي؟
حاطين مدة حق الواجب.
مهم.
يعني خلصت هي المدة ولا باقي؟
محطوط لي 4 مارس خلصت.
4 مارس خلصت يعني.
اي.
يعني أول بارت من الواجب ما حليته.
اي
ما
نعم.
في ميك اب، ما في ميك اب ترى.
يعني ما في
يعني
اي شيء اقدر اسويه؟
ما في غير ان انت تدخل على ال مغيرين هم الانترفيس حق ال ام اس ولا شو موضوعهم؟ ال ام اس، لحظة بس خلنا اشيك. دقايق بس. ما في، خلصت
دكتور
يعني الفيرست الاونلاين اكتيفيتي اوريدي، يعني الديدلاين حقها خلص اللي هو الفورث اوف مارش. ما في ولا شيء تقدر تسويه لأنه اوريدي خلاص done. اوريدي الانفورميشن يعني شرحناها، المعلومات والانستركشن شرحناها، وقال مكتوب واضح بصريح العبارة في وقت ان انت تسوي فيه، وقت طويل من 26 ل 4 مارس، تقريبا اسبوع.
صحيح.
فما في ولا شيء تقدر تسويه غير ان انت تدخل السكند اكتيفيتي اللي بتبدأ من 26 مارس والى 1 ابريل.
اوكي.
ايش كان
يعني
السبب ليش ما سويت الهوم وورك؟ ان انت ما عرفت تدخل ايش؟
ما عرفت ادخل كيف ادخل الهوم ورك، ما عرفت ادخله
ما
اساسا.
هو كان سأل طيب أحد من زملائك في
قلت يعني بشوف استنى لين كلاس، بعدين استوعبت ان
ما
الكلاس.
لا تستنى، الديدلاين موجود وحاطين اوريدي، كاتبين انه ما في ميك اب. يعني انت الان من اصل 20 خسرت 10 just because you didn't ask. يعني كان في الميتنج الاول او الثاني، مو فاكره، الثاني الظاهر، كان في الميتنج شرحت كيف تدخلوا على الاكتيفيتي وكيف تسووها. ما في اكسكيوز صراحة. اوكي، بالتوفيق ان شاء الله. any more question? Yes. ما I can't hear you. قديم I can't hear you. Your voice is not clear.
أقول ما عندي سؤال بس عادي أطلع يعني.
ايه تفضلي. إذا ما عندك سؤال ممكن تمشي.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you very much for attending. You are free to leave. بالتوفيق.